In the last lecture, we were started with BSc second semester third paper number 5, and from that unit microbial physiology and metabolism. From that we were started with the first point, that was growth phase. As I told before in the previous lecture, there are 4 growth phases: lag phase, log phase, stationary phase and death phase. But in the last lecture, only 2 phases we studied in detail, that was lag phase and log phase. What was the lag phase? Lag phase takes place in between 1 to 4 hours after inoculation of the bacterial population into the fresh medium. In this phase, no cell division takes place, only the cell mass is increased and internal mechanism like increase in the proteins, enzymes, coenzymes, ribonucleic acid, etc. takes place. There is lag in a cell division, hence it was called as a lag phase. But in this phase, the cells were very metabolically active. Now second phase we studied in the last lecture was log phase. What was log phase or exponential phase? It takes place after inoculation of cells into the fresh medium in 8 hours, right? This phase is known as the second phase of growth curve by exponential increase in cell number. Why there is most increase in the cell number? Because of a cell division takes place in this phase, right? Now this phase was denoted by straight line to the x-axis, right? As the number of cells were increasing, the phase was positive. In this phase, what was happening? A straight line with positive slope was obtained. Now we are going to study the third phase of the growth curve, that is a stationary phase. In stationary phase, what happens, or in what hours it takes place? In few hours to the few days. This is the third phase of a growth and it is known as a stationary phase. It is characterized by no growth because the number of organisms in the culture remains constant. Now what is the reason behind this number of cells remains constant? Because in the lag phase already the cell takes all the nutrients and 2 drawbacks were seen. First one was exhaustion of nutrients and second one was accumulation of toxic product. Because of that, in this stationary phase the number of organisms were remain constant. No further increase in cell number takes place in the stationary phase and this phase is denoted by straight line to the x-axis. As you can see here, straight line to the x-axis. This is a stationary phase. At the end of the exponential phase, population of cell reaches to maximum level and hence in the stationary phase it is denoted as a straight line to the x-axis because of 2 reasons as previously discussed: accumulation of toxic product and exhaustion of nutrients. In this stationary phase, growth rate equals to the death rate. Why it is so? Because total number of viable cells remains constant. Now what is meant by viable? Viable means living cell in this phase remain constant. What is the reason? Because what? Because of exhaustion of nutrient and accumulation of toxic product. There is no nutrient left over there for intake of the cell and for dividing of the cell, hence the cell number remains constant. In this phase, cells are resistant to adverse physical conditions like temperature, pH, radiation and cold. In the lag phase, what was happening? The cells were metabolically very active, but they were very sensitive to all the adverse physical conditions. But in the stationary phase, the cells are resistant to all the adverse physical condition like temperature, pH, radiation and cold, because the cells are fully active, metabolically active and physically also very active. This was about the stationary phase. Now moving towards the death phase, or it is also known as a decline phase. As you can see here, death phase or decline, the graph is declining towards or negative line towards the x-axis or straight line with a negative slope, hence it is also known as a decline phase. Decline phase takes place from few hours to the few days. This is the final phase of the growth curve. In this phase, viable population declines exponentially because of the adverse cultural condition. That rate increases sharply when log number of cells are plotted against the time straight line with negative slope is obtained. As I told, log number of cells are declining. The slope or the cells when plotted against the time, it gives a straight line to the negative slope, right? Now, and at the end of this decline phase or the death phase, what happens? Very few viable cells left in the culture after the decline phase, which can persist for months or years. Now, in this phase, if any of the bacterial cell remains live, they can last for months to years. Here we have ended with the 4 phases of the growth, that is lag phase, log phase, stationary phase and the death phase. In lag phase, when lag phase starts, initially after inoculating the bacterial culture into the fresh medium, they take off the nutrients, they grow and they only increase the cell mass. What is the log phase here? Log phase is nothing but it is in this phase the cell divide and hence it is seen as straight line with a positive slope with a which is plotted against the time. Stationary phase, here death rate equals to the growth rate because of 2 reasons: exhaustion of nutrients and accumulation of toxic product. And fourth one and last one was a death phase. In death phase, what happens? The number of cells tends to die. The population of cells tends to die due to the exhaustion of nutrients, right, and adverse physical conditions. And when we plot a cell number of cells in against the time, a straight line with a negative slope is obtained into the death phase. Here we have completed the first point in this chapter, that was growth and growth phases. Now we are moving to the next point of the chapter, that is measurement of growth. Now, as we already know, the growth of the bacterial cell have been proceeded, they have grown fully. Now we are going to measure the growth. Now how we can measure the growth? For example, for unicellular organisms like bacteria, growth reflects when increase in the cell number and cell mass takes place. Thus, for such organism, growth can be measured in terms of 2 parameters as change in cell number and change in cell mass. Hence, measurement of growth is divided into 2 main categories. First one is a measurement of cell growth by cell number and measurement of growth by cell mass. This is only an overview of measurement of growth. In detail, we are going to study further, right? Now again, this measurement of growth by cell number is divided into 2 types: direct count and indirect count. Again, in a direct count, it is divided into 2: direct microscopic count and electronic particle counter, or it is also known as a counter device. Again, in direct microscopic count, there are examples like Breed's method, Petroff's Hauser blood counter, Housley's counting chamber. Again, measurement of growth by cell number is divided into second type, that is indirect method. Again, this indirect method is divided into 2 types, that is plate count method and second one is a membrane filter technique. Now, second method of measurement of growth is measurement of growth by cell mass. It is divided into 2 types. First one is direct measurement of cell and second one is a indirect measurement of cell by using spectrophotometer. First one is a direct measurement of cell mass. Again, it is characterized or divided into the 2 types, that is measurement of cell dry weight and second one is a measurement of cell nitrogen content. Now we are going to see in detail each measurement of growth. First, we are starting with measurement of growth by cell number. Measurement of growth by cell number. Measurement of growth by cell number involves direct count or indirect variable counts. From that, first one we are going to study, that is a direct count. Direct counting of a cell number is very simple, easy, quick and inexpensive way. By this method, we can measure very small amount of sample very accurately. In this technique, what happens? Now, measurement of growth means what? The bacterial growth. How we can measure the bacterial growth? If the bacterial growth is present in agar, we can measure it? No. Only and only if the bacterial growth is present in the what? In this method, okay? We can measure only when the bacterial growth is present in the broth form. Only in this method we can measure it, okay? In the agar format, in the next point we are going to see. Now, first point, that is, our first method under this, that is direct microscopic count. Now, what is direct microscopic count? As you all know, direct, as the name suggests, direct microscopic count means we are going to make a slide and we are going to observe it under the microscopes in simple way. Now, see here, specifically designed slides are used, and with the help of the microscope, bacterial cells can be counted in this method. Various methods are involved in this direct microscopic count, like breed method. Now, breed method, what is breed method? It is not given in detail in your book, but for your kind information, what is the breed method? Breed method is used in milk industries to detect the level of contamination in milk before pasteurization. जे काही आपल्या दुधात मायक्रोऑर्गॅनिझम प्रेझेंट असतात बिफोर पाश्चरायझेशन, तर त्या मायक्रोऑर्गॅनिझमचा लोड काउंट करण्यासाठी कोणती मेथड वापरली जाते? डायरेक्ट मायक्रोस्कोपिक काउंटमधली ब्रीड मेथड ही वापरली जाते. तर त्याचं ॲक्च्युअल फॉर्मॅट काय आहे किंवा ॲक्च्युअल ती ब्रीड मेथड कशी केली जाते? हाऊ द ब्रीड मेथड ॲक्च्युअली वर्क्स इज, we are going to take 0.01 ml of milk sample and we are going to spread it evenly over the area of 1 square centimeter. In 1 square centimeter, there is a presence of 100 square mm, right? The smear is heat fixed, the smear is stained and examined under oil immersion lens. Right, this was all about the breed method. Now, second method included in this is Petrov-Hauser blood counter, or it is also known as a hemocytometer. This is used to count bacterial cells. In detail in your book, we are going to study, that is last one, that is Houseless counting chamber, and it is also used for counting bacterial cells. See here, now what is mean by Houseless counting chamber over here? Houseless counter chamber. It is specifically designed slide that is ruled in to a known area. It is a specifically designed slide. Now I am going to show here. See here, it is a specifically designed chamber or design slide that is ruled into the known area. As the upper image and the lower image are the net image of the counting chamber, and the middle one, it is imaginary image to, it is an imaginary image to explain you, right? As you see here, it is constructed, or it is constructed as follows, right? This chamber has a circular depression into the, or circular cavity in between the slide, which is ruled, which is totally ruled, or which is totally divided into 400 squares as shown in the figure in middle, right? And each square in the 400 square is of size 1 mm square, right? And the depth of that circular one square is 0.02 mm. The chamber is ruled in the 400 equal divisions, each of 1 square mm. Each square has area of 0.0025 square mm. As I told previously, whole chamber was divided into 400 equal parts. From that 400 equal parts, one part was divided into, or one part size was 1 square mm, right? And each square, from that each square, area, the area of each square was how much? The area of each size was 0.025 square mm and the diffraction was 0.02 mm. Already I have shown in that figure, right? Now we are going to calculate the volume over each square is thus 0.025 square mm into 0.02 mm equals to, why 0.02 mm? While calculating the volume over the square, 0.02 mm is what? It is a area of each square into 0.02 mm. 0.02 mm is what? Depression of each square. It equals to 0.00050 mm cube. Now while converting this mm cube into centimeter, only we are going to add 3 extra zeros and the value becomes 0.0000005 centimeter cube. And now we are going to convert centimeter into ml only. We are going to add the unit ml. Hence, each square is filled with 0.0000005 ml of solution. Understood here? Each of the square, when we are going to fill with the bacterial suspension, each square of here there is presence of a 400 square. Each square will be filled with how many ml of sample? That is 0.0000005 ml, right? Now next, the chamber is filled with the bacterial suspension as previously told with that ml and it is closed with a cover slip. And then the slide is observed under the microscope and bacterial cells from 40 to 50 different squares are counted. As there is presence of 400 squares in that slide, that is very difficult. आपण ते 400 काही काउंट करू शकत नाही. म्हणून आपण काय करणार आहोत, ते 400 काउंट न करता आपण काय करणार आहोत, मायक्रोस्कोप खोलली त्यातल्या फक्त 40 ते 50 डिफरंट स्क्वेअर्स मधले काय करणार आहोत, बॅक्टेरिया आपण काउंट करणार आहोत. And hence they are counted and the mean number of bacteria from one square is calculated. समजा, if the number of bacteria per square is 4, the total number of bacteria per ml is calculated as follows. आपल्याला काय करायचं आहे की रँडमली 400 मधल्या 40 ते 50 स्क्वेअर मध्ये फक्त बॅक्टेरियाचे नंबर काढायचे आहेत. समजा एका स्क्वेअर मध्ये आपल्याला किती नंबर ऑफ बॅक्टेरिया आढळले? 4. तर आपण त्या 4 मध्ये आपण काय करणार आहोत, तर एवढ्या एका स्क्वेअर मध्ये त्या एका स्क्वेअर मध्ये आपण सॅम्पल किती घातलं? 0.0000005 ml घातलं होतं, राईट. त्याच्यात आपल्याला किती गावल्या? 4 बॅक्टेरिया गावल्या. तर 1 ml मध्ये अशा किती बॅक्टेरिया असतील, तर ते आपण कसं काढणार? 1 × 4 डिवाइड बाय 0.0000005 ml. म्हणजे आपल्याला काय मिळणार? एका ml मध्ये किती नंबर ऑफ बॅक्टेरिया आहेत, तर किती असणार आहेत ते? किती असणार आहेत? 80 × 10⁶. 800,000,000 80 million and it is written as a 8 × 10⁶. This number of cells will be found in 1 ml of sample. Now this Hawkesbury counting chamber have some advantages and disadvantages. First we will see the advantages. This method is rapid and can be performed with minimum equipments. काहीच लागत नाही. कमीत कमी मिनिमम इक्विपमेंट्समध्ये आपण काय करू शकतो? बॅक्टेरियल काउंट घेऊ शकतो. फक्त काय लागते? ती स्पेसिफिक डिझाईन स्लाइड लागते. सेकंड वन, मॉर्फॉलॉजी ऑफ बॅक्टेरिया कॅन बी ऑब्झर्व. आपण मायक्रोस्कोप खाली बघणार आहे ती स्लाइड डायरेक्टली सस्पेन्शन टाकल्यानंतर, त्यामुळं मॉर्फॉलॉजी पण बॅक्टेरियाची समजून जाईल की ते कोकाय आहेत, बॅसिलाय आहेत की कोणत्या शेपचे आहेत, राईट. थर्ड वन इज dense suspension can be counted if they are diluted approximately. आता जर समजा आपलं एखादं सस्पेन्शन खूपच डेन्स आहे, ते पण आपण काउंट करू शकतो. कसं की त्याला स्पेसिफिक डायल्यूशन करायचं आणि ते स्पेसिफिक डायल्यूशन करून काय करायचं, त्या स्पेसिफिक स्लाइडमध्ये आपल्याला घालायचं आहे. समजलं ना तुम्हाला? काय करतो आपण इथे? एक स्लाइड घेतोय स्लाईड घेतोय, त्या स्लाईडलाच आपण काय म्हटलेलं आहे, हॉक्सलीज काउंटिंग चेंबर स्पेसिफिक स्लाईड आहे ती डिझाईन केलेली. त्याच्यामध्ये आपलं सस्पेन्शन घालतोय. त्याच्यामध्ये स्क्वेअर्स असतात 400. एका स्क्वेअरची साईज काय आहे 0.025 mm असते. तर आणि डेप्थ किती असते एका स्क्वेअरची 0.02 mm असते. तर त्याच्यावरून आपण काय कॅल्क्युलेट करतोय, मॅक्झिमम किंवा मीन काढून टोटल नंबर ऑफ बॅक्टेरिया पर ml आपण काढू शकतो. आता डिसएडव्हांटेजेस काय आहेत ह्या मेथडचे. मेथड रिक्वायर्स हाय मॅग्निफिकेशन फॉर ऑब्झर्वेशन ऑफ बॅक्टेरिया. आपल्या साध्या मायक्रोस्कोपला पण दिसतात, पण व्यवस्थित मॅग्निफाय करून बघायचं झालं तर आपल्याला काय लागेल, हाय मॅग्निफिकेशन पॉवरचा मायक्रोस्कोप लागेल. अँड सेकंड वन, इट काउंट्स बोथ डेड अँड लाईव्ह सेल्स. दुसरा डिसएडव्हांटेजेस काय आहे की त्या काउंटरला समजत नाहीत की आपण जे काउंट करतोय बॅक्टेरिया ते मेलेले आहेत की जिवंत आहेत, किंवा आपल्याला पण समजत नाही बघताना की ते लाईव्ह आहेत की डेड आहेत. हेन्स बोथ द सेल्स आर काउंटेड बाय दिस टेक्निक. Now we are already studied the first method from measurement of cell growth by cell number from the direct count. From the direct count we have studied first one, that was Hawksley's counting chamber. Now we are going to study second one, that is electronic particle counter, or it is also known as a Coulter counter device. How it looks like, see here, this is an image of Coulter counter device, right? Now this device is named after the inventor and it consists of a orifice. Now what is a orifice here? As in diagram you can see, orifice means it is nothing but a small hole which has a diameter of 10 to 30 micrometer, right? And what again here, you can see two electrodes are placed on both sides of the orifice which measures the resistance of electric current. In center there is placed one orifice. Orifice is nothing but a small hole, and in both the sides of the orifice there they have placed the two electrodes which can measure the resistance, right? When cell passes through the orifice, the electric resistance increases and the cells are counted. खूप सोपी आहे ह्याची टेक्निक मेजर करायची सेल्स बॅक्टेरियल ग्रोथ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक पार्टिकल काउंटरची. काय होतं, एक ओरिफिस आहे, ओरिफिसच्या दोन्ही बाजूला काय प्लेस केलेत, दोन इलेक्ट्रोड प्लेस केलेत. तर ज्या वेळेला त्या ओरिफिसमधून एक सेल पास होणार त्यावेळेला काय होते, तर रेजिस्टंट किंवा इलेक्ट्रिक करंटची जी काही डेन्सिटी आहे ती काय होते, वाढते. इंक्रीज इन काय होणार आहे तिथं, there will increase in electric resistance. As there will increase in electric resistance, जसं एक सेल पास होणार त्या ओरिफिसमधून म्हणजे इलेक्ट्रिक रेजिस्टन्स वाढणार. इलेक्ट्रिक रेजिस्टन्स वाढला की तिथे एक रेकॉर्डर असणार, तर रेकॉर्डर काय करणार, तो इलेक्ट्रिक रेजिस्टन्स कॅच करणार आणि एक सेल पास झाल्याचा रेकॉर्ड ठेवणार, वन सेल. दुसरी सेल पास झाली ओरिफिसमधून, इलेक्ट्रिक रेजिस्टन्स वाढला इलेक्ट्रोडमधला, म्हणजे दुसरी सेल काय झाली, पास झालेल्याचं डिनोशन मिळेल. अशा प्रकारे काय होत असते, तिथं नंबर ऑफ सेल्स काउंट होत असतात. लक्षात आलं. Now this also electric particle counter or Coulter counter also has two advantages as well as a disadvantages. What are the advantages of this? This method is very quick and accurate. खूपच क्विक आहे, ॲक्युरेट आहे. एक सेल पास झाली, रेजिस्टन्स वाढला, एक काउंट झाला. दुसरी सेल आली, रेजिस्टंट वाढला, दुसरी सेल. असं करून आपण मिलियन्स ऑफ सेल्स काउंट करू शकतो. युजफुल टू काउंट नंबर ऑफ सेल्स पर युनिट व्हॉल्यूम. आता पर युनिट व्हॉल्यूम म्हणजे काय, तर कितीही डेन्स असलं, डेन्सिटी ऑफ सेल्स कितीही असल्या तरी आपण काय करू शकतो, काउंट करू शकतो. युजफुल टू रेजिस्टर द पॉप्युलेशन साईज. आता पॉप्युलेशन साईज म्हणजे काय, नंबर ऑफ सेल्स पर पॉप्युलेशन और नंबर ऑफ सेल्स इन पॉप्युलेशन कितीही असले तरी आपण काय करू शकतो, काउंट करू शकतो. नाउ डिसएडव्हांटेजेस ऑफ दिस टेक्निक इज व्हॉट, इंस्ट्रुमेंट कॅनॉट डिफरन्शिएट बिटवीन डेड सेल्स अँड लाईव्ह सेल्स. सेम जसं आपण पहिल्याला बघितलं स्लाईड टेस्टमध्ये काय, तिथं काय काउंट केले जात होते, डेड ॲज वेल ॲज लाईव्ह सेल्स. इथं काय होणार आहे, ओरिफिसमधून डेड सेल्स पण जाणार आहेत, लाईव्ह सेल्स पण जाणार आहेत, पण तो स्पेसिफिक इन्स्ट्रुमेंट काय करू शकत नाही. ती सेल डेड आहे, ती सेल लाईव्ह आहे, त्याला काही समजत नाही. त्याचं फक्त काय काम आहे, कॉलनीज काउंट करणं, ते काउंट करत जाणार, हेन्स ते कशामध्ये येतं, डिसएडव्हान्टेजेसमध्ये. आणि काय आहे ओरिफिस, ओरिफिस टेंड्स टू बिकम क्लॉगिंग. आत्ताच जसं मी सांगितलं ओरिफेसची साईज काय आहे 10 to 30 मायक्रोमीटर इन डायमीटर असल्यामुळं सेल जसे पास होत जातील तशी ती ओरिफेस ते स्पेसिफिक होल त्या ह्याच्यामधले डिव्हाइसमधलं क्लॉग म्हणजे ब्लॉक होण्याची शक्यता जास्त आहे. नाव हिअर वी आर गोइंग टू स्टॉप अँड फर्दर indirect method we are going to study in to the next lecture.